Rotation in Warzone is extremely important. It can make or break your game. Make one wrong move while rotating into the circle and the team can kill you extremely easily. In this video, I'm going to do my best to let you guys know everything I know on rotation and how to rotate safely and smartly to get the most kills and to win and get that Warzone victory. There are also many variables on rotation, so if you're not picking it up right away, keep in mind that there might be a variable that you are missing. Variables that I can think off the top of my head are your weapons, what weapons the enemies have, the location of the map you have, your elevation on the map, if enemies have UAVs or kill streaks, if you have your loadouts, if they have their loadouts, what objectives you've completed earlier in the game, and what objectives they've completed earlier in the game. There is probably 20 variables that if I actually thought and wrote down, I could come up with, and these 20 variables dictate how you rotate. I don't know if this is going to be a 1-part or 2-part series because I'm going to try my absolute best to fit everything into one video, but if anything arises in the future where I'm like, hey, I missed a huge thing, that will be in a future video. And if that ever does happen, in the description I will have a link to that future video whenever, if ever, that is made. The goal of this video is for me to help you guys as much as I can with rotation so you improve your chances of winning in Warzone and you just improve your skill overall in Warzone as well. I will have a few clips on the screen that we're going to walk through together, and I'm going to do like an ESPN replay where I explain why I'm doing the things I'm doing and kind of like the variables that go into it. Also, there's 2 types of rotation. There's combat rotation and circle rotation. This isn't like a scientifically proven thing. I just came up with it like 2 hours ago while thinking of this video. Combat rotation is how you rotate while fighting an enemy or enemy team, and then circle rotation is where you are rotating from zone to zone as the circle shrinks in. Now you can combine these, so say you're in a combat rotation while trying to get into the zone, you kind of have both areas, or I guess both rotations put together at the same time, so you're kind of dealing with 2 storms at once. Metaphorically, literally, I don't even know. Anyway, so the first clip we're going to go into right now is going to be me going for a flag capture, which is one of the best ways to get future circle rotations in. I will have a video linked down below on why circle rotations is important. Basically, all I have is my pistol and an AK. All I've been doing is flag caps from the beginning of the game, and I actually ended up getting pushed by a lot of people here. So my goal right now is just to sit on the flag and capture and buy back my teammate and get back into the fight. And little did I know is that enemies were going to be pushing me. Right here, that enemy shoots at me, I rotate onto the box and get the high ground as soon as possible. High ground will win you gunfights extremely fast. I didn't know if I was going to engage this as I first pushed up to that second floor, but then one of the enemies made a bad push and kind of went right into the open. My accuracy wasn't the best there because I was a little bit panicked. I threw a C4 as I saw him run away. I didn't really get a good glimpse of where he went, so I just I kept my distance and waited for the next guy to come. I didn't know that there was going to be more guys. I thought in this scenario, I shouldn't even bait people that are down. I should just try to finish and kill off as many as possible. That one guy drops down, and then I try to recoup. I think he's left, and then I think it's almost safe to go capture the flag again, and then I find a nice little R90 shotgun, and I drop down. Because I hear him walking around, I get shot. For some reason, this guy was such a bot that he didn't even end up killing me. I push him with that shotgun, and boom. I rotated in, kept my cover, stayed safe, and then another guy pushes me. Look at that. Full team wipe. And just as I thought it was over, I got more guys raiding it. It's crazy town. There's guys coming in left, right, and center, and then I'm just trying to capture the flag to buy back my friend. And yeah, that's pretty much that. That's a good combat rotation example for you guys. I tried to keep the high ground as much as possible. I also tried to keep myself behind cover as much as possible. Of course, in different areas of the map, you will be in different situations. Other than that, like you might be in an open forest where they have the high ground on the hill, but you can use your cover behind trees as an advantage. When I was getting shot at, when I was running out in the open, I used that pillar as kind of my protection, and then I started to use the cubicles as my second protection as I rotated in to kill him. In combat, each experience is going to be different. Even if you fight a squad in the same area 100 times, each time is going to play out different just because the enemies are going to move differently, your teammates are going to move differently, and you're going to move differently. Just be smart and don't put yourself out in the open. Hold your angles and you should be good. Combat rotation is some of the easiest to do. There is another clip that I'm going to play right now where I'm in the promenade and two teams are actually fighting in the building that I want to take. If you look in the top left corner, you will notice that we have a bunch of circle peaks and the building that we want to take has high ground over most of the circles. So we want to rotate into the circle, get that high ground as you would. And you notice on my heartbeat sensor, there is like two full teams right below us. Now, the reason I did not push down the ladder here is because I know two teams are going to be fighting. Sure, they may be weak, but I'm going to put myself in a situation where I don't know where the enemies are. I will be going in blind. Of course, the heartbeat sensor lets me know what direction they're in, but really it's too much of a risk. And if I drop down and my teammate doesn't, they will finish off me and kill me and thirst me, and my teammate will be left alone. So the smart thing to do in situations like this is honestly wait it out as long as you can. See if the enemies leave, see if the enemies move, see if you can get a little sneak attack on them. In this case, one of the enemies climbed the ladder because they thought we were not there, which is a good time to rotate. I forgot to mention is when two teams are fighting, those two teams are going to be so focused on each other that you can kind of sneak in without them knowing and then third party whoever's left. And in this situation, I knew there was two more enemies down below. My teammate gave me a call out, use the RPG. So what did I do? I peeked with the RPG, downed one of them, and then shot a second rocket down and got the team wipe. Pretty straightforward stuff. It's kind of a textbook play in my book. I tend to do stuff like that all the time within Warzone. It gives me a few easy kills and it can give you high ground. Now let's talk about circle rotation. We've talked about two examples of combat. Now let's talk about circle rotation. As I mentioned down below, I'm going to have a video on the circle peaks. Long story short, if you guys don't want to check out that video, there is going to be flag objectives around the map. When you pick up a flag objective, you are given a headquarters location to go capture. Once you capture that headquarters location, you are then given a circle peak, which will be the next circle that the toxic gas will move to. If you do enough of these within quick succession, you can narrow down where the final circle is before you're even done the first circle rotation. Now, while rotating in the circle, there's two options that I recommend. Either you hold the circle, so you stay as close to the toxic gas as possible, and then you rotate with it, or you try to get to the middle of the circle every time. The only time I recommend going to the middle of the circle in rotation is if you have circle peaks. If you think of the first circle that is basically the whole map and you go dead center, say for some reason downtown is dead center, you only have one circle's information to go off of. So you might be in the middle of the circle in the very first zone, but that zone's going to change and shift around, so you won't know where it's going in the future. And downtown might get cut off of the toxic gas, so you're set up downtown, but the teams that have done the circle peaks are now at the center of the final circle waiting for you, and you have to push in while they have high ground and all the information on final zones. Now, sometimes there are going to be moments when you're rotating from zone to zone and you will either meet a team trying to run towards the safe zone, or you will just meet a team camping in a building. You have to pick and choose your battles here. If you know a team is camping in a building 200 meters away and they're sniping at you, if you have cover, sometimes it's best just to run to the circle and leave them there in that building. Yes, kill-hungry teams are annoying, and you might be a kill-hungry team yourself, but trust me when I say this, kill-hungry teams die in probably the dumbest ways within Warzone because they will give the kill more priority than staying alive. And some teams are fine with that. If you guys want to win, I would recommend picking and choosing your battles. If there is a team 200, 300 meters away and they're sniping at you while you're trying to get to the circle, just put yourself in a safe position where they can't see you anymore. Find cover if you don't have an area to run safely and you're kind of stuck, and fight back for as long as you can. If not, even down one or two of them to move safely. But sometimes like that, you will have to avoid it. If there is a team in the wide open with you and you look to your left and you see a team running into the safe zone at the same time you are, you might have to engage that. Of course, depending on how close they are, different weapons will be better for you in that scenario, but you just have to play it smart and play it safe. Once you're late game, I tend not to really care about the circle just because it's so predictable where the zone's going to be moving once the circle's like the size of downtown. It's pretty easy to guess where the circle's going to go and you can get high ground. And then I kind of like to engage enemies mid to late game. Early game, all I'm focused on is looting up, getting my loadout, and getting as many circle peaks done as possible. That's rotation for you guys. I don't think I'm going to make a part 2. The only way I would make a part 2 is if you guys comment down below on some stuff that you guys want extra tips and tricks with that I didn't cover in this video. Keep in mind that there is so many variables while rotating, and sometimes luck just isn't on your side, and when that happens, don't get frustrated. Start a new game or take a break, play some multiplayer, and come back to Warzone later. I promise you will eventually learn over time. And trust me when I say this, I think I have like 83, 84, 85 Warzone wins right now. I have enough wins where I'm pretty confident I know what rotation is. I hope you guys did enjoy. Check the description for my Discord down below. In my Discord, we're starting to revive it a little. I have been a little inactive on YouTube and Discord, but we're bringing it back. We're going to be doing game nights again where I'm playing Warzone and multiplayer with you guys and even other games. So check that out. Check the social media links down below to follow me on other platforms. Leave a like if you did enjoy, dislike if you didn't. Subscribe for more videos in the future. Comment down below what videos you guys want to see in the future, and if you want more information on rotation that I missed. I'm about to head out, and if there is one, I will see you in the next one. Peace.